Hails and welcome to Rauta. This time we have American black metal band Helleborus here for review. Not only just one release though, but two different ones and 10 tape. It gets very interesting. This tape is merely to complement these two actual albums by the very band, but it's here nonetheless as bonus content. Let's start in fact with that. This comes with a nice slipcase, and let me see if this is if I'm able to take it out without actually breaking the covers here. These tend to get a little bit stuck here every now and then when the cardboard covers are very thick. This one features the Carnal Sabbath and Prayer of the Undying. Mind you, I didn't include in this review the Prayer of the Undying part, so we're mostly focusing on the second album here, which is then again called the Carnal Sabbath. I don't know why I'm twisting and turning this so much, but here it is. Looks pretty sweet to me. And here is the track list in case you're interested to see the whole thing right here. So this is a Colorado American-based band that has existed for quite some time now. Not exactly super old, but nonetheless worth mentioning that it's not something that got, founded during the COVID years, so to speak. But only two albums out. And before we get into the details of this album or albums, it's worth mentioning that Helleborus is a plant, pretty beautiful looking one. And in Finnish it actually means like Christmas rose. Not exactly the typical black metal name, but Helleborus of course sounds way more metallic than that. So this one is the debut album called The Kernel Sabbath. It's about 55 minutes of melodic black metal. One could say very modern in style, but also at the same time maintaining the roots of 1990s Nordic black metal style. While in fact a little bit different, there are lots of similarities, and at some points when you go those really dark and ominous melodic parts, which are plenty on this album, I could get a little bit dark funeral vibe here. Overall, however, this is maybe not as mainstreamish in terms of black metal, and it's not so straightforward fast tempo either. It's a little bit different, but there are similarities to Nordic kind of a black metal. The overall sound is very modern though, so this is not one of those let's go to a rehearsal room and just record with whatever equipment we can get on its hands, but rather very professionally made. This one is powerful, clean, crisp, and it's just, everything makes a lot of sense when you really hear it. And by making sense, I mean it really makes sure that all these instruments are well heard and very detailed sound. Now, this is the second album coming with a nice looking dark, or should we say black, digipack release. And here you see the album title. I don't know if you can make sense. But anyway, here it is with its very dark cover, and there's the track list redefining darkness issue, and how to translate it, pronounce it. I don't know what I'm saying. Saprophytic Divinations. My English skills are so limited that I don't even dare to guess what that specifically means. So let's just go with the general idea of this style. Basically, this band is run about mostly or revolving around these Houseman brothers, which then again have complemented the band with another set of members. And why those brothers are worth mentioning is that before Helleborus they had this band called Akhenaten, which I think is still active. It's a couple of years older than Helleborus, and that band alone features these two brothers, none else. But Helleborus is more like 4 or 5 man band with various members complementing these brothers' visions. I don't know how the actual songwriting goes and all that stuff, but that's the general idea of the music here within. And then let's tune for a little bit of metal archives on the background. So started in 2014, a couple of years later, and then Akhenaten This band has put out 2 albums, Kernel Sabbath in 2016, the album I featured first, and the second one 2019. Now, mind you, these are late to the party in terms of reviews because I got them quite late here, so they have been waiting for their turn to be reviewed. So by the time this video gets out, I wouldn't be surprised if the band already have some new material out there to be released and all that stuff. But now we focus on the first 2 albums and kind of skip those single ones. As you can see, the Prayer of the Undying is here included as 2017 single, and on the tape it's mentioned, but like I said, it's not part of the review here as such. Now, the music is indeed very melodic in nature, and both these albums are very, very nicely produced. Especially the second album is even stronger and crispier and clearer, yet maintaining the wonderful feeling of the music. Both are melodic in the sense, but I would say the second album is really more focused because the songwriting is better. Those different parts, speed, melodies, or riffs, or whatever parts actually make a little bit more sense. I mean, it's more well-balanced, more well-rounded in the sense, and it's a little bit more compact. Now, where the first album runs over almost an hour, the second one is closer to 45 minutes, and as such, maybe that's one of the reasons why it feels more compact, and, you know, as such, working better for the listener. Also, what is worth mentioning that with the second album, there are a little bit more death metallic feelings. I mean, there are a little in the first one, but the second one, it takes a little bit more sense, or more plays, actually. Well, plays and sense both work here as well. And the ways these death metal parts are brought into play is mostly via, you know, death metal crawly parts, but also a little bit of riffs here and there. Not so obvious on the first album. It's only more like a light seasoning, whereas the second album is more like a hybrid going towards more modern death metal. Not exactly like Behemoth, but similar ways of, you know, blending 2 different extreme metal styles together. Like I said, both have wonderful production, so it doesn't matter whether it's more like death metallic or black metallic riff, both make a lot of sense. Now, the vocal parts are the only ones I actually have a little bit of a problem with, because the growly vocals are not super growly. And the black metal raspiness are some parts, especially with the first album, really nice and raw. But then again, later on, they kind of are like a little bit held back, like as if the vocalist is not allowed to go out loud and just let the beast out. That's just the feeling I'm getting. Maybe it's just a matter of getting used to these kind of held back raspy vocals. Overall, pretty nicely done. The first album is just a little bit too much all over the place to make actually that catchy and memorable. The second album is more focused in that sense, and as such I would say it's the better one of these 2. Now, if this kind of evolution takes place in the future recordings for Helleborus, I would say the next one is already good, where the first ones are more like quite nice and decent, and it's evolving at least what I hope there to be. Interesting band nonetheless, and I think it's worth giving a shot. Maybe not the greatest band out there, but definitely going the right direction. If only more memorability and catchiness was included with the songwriting parts, because the melodies are right there and the atmosphere is very, very good. Sinister mood with very dark presence, it's right there. No more just focus to the songs being more like drilling into your brain, the kind of stuff that you end up humming because it's so goddamn good. That's the only thing I'm basically missing with this one. But that's just me. You decide for yourself, so give it a go and listen. You will find those links provided in the description box. And if you like it, these are out as CDs, and here's a tape. And as far as I could gather, based on Metal Archive, should be on LP as well. So click and listen, and I hope you like it. And if you do, go buy them. Thanks for checking out the review. Take care, and bye-bye.